Okay. Hi, I'm Ben Springer, and I'm a student in Steve Kraski's class, The Art of the Interview, here at UMKC. Today I'm going to be interviewing Wahed Moharam, who has had quite the life. So I want to start first at the beginning with your childhood.
Yes.
So you're born and raised in Cairo, Egypt, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now can you describe for me what Cairo was like socially, governmentally? What was it like for you growing up there?
Cairo, Egypt is a very beautiful city, very crowded, just like New York City. Cairo before 1950, it was one of the most visitable places in the world. After Egypt liberated from kingdom to be a country with a president, and things changed a little bit when the king left Egypt. But Cairo was always a place of a lot of tourists. We have the pyramid and all the history in Egypt. And we also go to Alexandria, which is beautiful beach and that. So I grew up in a very happy family. My father was every year. We have a house in Egypt, and we also have a farm, and we also have a house in Alexandria. So during summertime, we go to the beach all the time for 3 months. So it was good life.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
So was there any experience you had that kind of helped you form you into the man you are today as a child in Egypt, do you think?
Well, really the same thing, the same goal for every country and nationality to be upgraded with the rest of the world. That's what the hope when I was young man in Egypt. I was so fascinated with America since I was 6 years old, because the first thing to get to know America was 1960 when the president passed, get killed, Kennedy.
Yes, yeah.
And after that, they make the coin of Kennedy face, and I save all my monthly allowed to buy the coin, so that I have a Kennedy money in mind. So I was fascinated with American the technology since I was a little baby.
Wow, it's amazing. So then you fought in the war, in the Yom Kippur War in the early 70s in the Egyptian military.
Yes.
Now, were you drafted or did you choose to fight?
I was drafted. There's no choice there. You know, everybody have to fight.
Of course.
Regardless, have to serve. So I serve, all my brothers serve, and my family. So every young man in Egypt must be serving in the army. It was mandatory.
Got it. And if you had not been drafted, would you have chosen to fight?
If I was not drafted, we will arrest you. But I want to be drafted and I want to fight, because when I was 13 years old, 1967, Israel surprised us with attack and take Suez Canal and Ismailia. And my family have a lot of property there. So we end up hosting a lot of people who escaped the war. And I have a 3 cousins get killed in 1967 in the war. And I see my aunt crying, screaming for my cousin. And I built animosity since I was a young man to Israel too. Because they invade Egypt and I want to liberate Egypt. So when my time come to serve, I was glad to serve.
Yeah, I can imagine. So then after you fought in the military, you studied in Italy.
Yes.
So why were you in Italy studying, and what were you studying?
Well, I study Academy Peli Art.
What is that?
It's sculpture, to make a sculpture from mud.
Okay.
And I did for 2 years. Then I decided to come to America.
Okay. And then, so you came to the U.S., and why did you decide to come to the U.S.?
Well, I have a few friends before me want to come to U.S. to study. And we grew together from second grade, first grade. So when I asked him, he said, America's beautiful, come and visit. So first time was come to visit my friend, but I fell in love with America from day one.
Yeah.
So I stay in America and I get married and I have children and grandchildren now, all born in America.
That's amazing. And so you first came to New York City, is that correct?
Yes, I come to New York City and I stay in New York City and I open a business in New York City.
Got it.
Yeah, and I was very, very blessed. I was very blessed in America.
Yeah, for sure. So, and speaking of the business you opened up, it was a taxi cab service. Is that correct?
Limousine service.
Limousine service. Got it. And so what was that experience like opening up a business here in the U.S.?
Well, the difference between U.S. and between overseas over here is very encouragement to do business. The no obstacle whatsoever. So it was very easy. You just apply and pay the fee for whatever required to have license. And when I opened up my limousine service, I start with 1 car, and less than 3 years I have a 3-stretch limousine and 2 sedan and van. So I was very blessed, and I told them in my American dream, because come to the time where I was making $1,000 daily, doing prom and doing wedding season like that. So it was very, very blessed in business. Yeah,
that's amazing. Was there any famous people that you encountered during that time?
Well, I encountered so many of TV reporter doing limousine service. They take shuttle from I pick him up from New Jersey to his studio in New York and pick him up.
In Manhattan? Is that usually where you went?
Yeah,
Wow.
because it's only across the tunnel, so it's 20 minutes from Jersey City to Manhattan. It's only 20 minutes.
It was back then, but with traffic now, it's probably changed, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so in the process of the business you had, you ended up hiring one of the men who was convicted in the bombing of the World Trade Center in '93.
I hired a man, his name Mahmoud Abu Halima, as a driver. And after I hired him, I find out he was in Mujahideen in Jihad with the blind Sheikh, Sheikh Omar Abdurrahman. And he revealed to me when he was working for me about some stuff he did, and FBI got involved to watch over him. He tried to recruit me to jihad because I was support of the jihad in Afghanistan when Ronald Reagan was president. We was invited in the White House by Ronald Reagan, and we was provided with in Pennsylvania for training camp with a Marine, and Ronald Reagan held our hand up and said, "I salute Mujahideen." So I felt I've been doing something very good for America to fight Russia and Afghanistan.
So you met Reagan then in the White House?
I met Ronald Reagan, yeah,
Wow.
in the White House. Me and other group from Egypt and from Afghanistan.
Wow.
So Dr. Abdullah Azam and other people.
So somebody who grew up picking up dimes or whatever the coins were with Kennedy's face on them as a little kid,
Yeah.
to grow up and meet the President of the United States, what was that like for you?
It was the best thing ever. I was so proud of myself and so proud to be in America where they give you opportunity to do good thing. And I was so proud to be part of the Mujahideen to fight Russia in Afghanistan and provide that. So it's something I was so proud of it.
Wow.
And America make me feel very good for what I do because they said you fight for the cause and for religion to liberate from Russia. And that was my goal when I fought Afghanistan.
That's amazing. So back to the employee you hired, you didn't have any awareness of his plan to bomb the World Trade Center?
No.
None aware whatsoever?
Absolutely not.
Did you ever notice any red flags? Anything that maybe he would have
I
indicated?
have a baby, and 2 weeks before the incident happened, my wife, American, is named Joan, and she was asking, tell him, Mahmoud, I'm going to Egypt, visit Wahid's family with my baby. And she asked him.
This is your wife who's doing this?
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
I have a child in New Jersey I don't see since 1993, since a case.
Since it happened.
I just been paid child support, but I didn't see the child because of the situation.
Wow.
So that time, she tell him, if you see me in Egypt, don't wear a hijab, like the head cover, would you kill me? Like there was some issue with the tourists in Egypt, and he tell her, I have to. And when he tell her, I have to.
So this man told your wife that he would have to kill her
yeah.
if he saw her in Egypt?
Yeah, if he saw any foreign in Egypt without cover, because he was believing they come to spread AIDS and sexual nasty thing. And she gets so scared and she told me, so I met with him and I have all the book of the Muslim religion because I was very, very, very in religion. And I tell him nothing whatsoever of what you say that, and I tell him you need to change your attitude. Matter of fact, I tell him you need to find another job. So I give him 2 weeks.
Okay.
And within this 2 weeks, after 1 week, the incident happened.
Wow.
He told me, watch what's gonna happen. At that time, I told against Egypt government, and that time Sadat was coming here, and I thought they're going to do harm to Anwar Sadat because he made the peace, and a lot of people disagree with his peace movement. So I informed Egypt about his name because I know he have a list. He's in the list of bad people in Egypt, and I was surprised that day. But I know he did it because he was asking me to help him get him van for some friend come from Egypt to move stuff, and I helped him to rent the van where they put the bomb.
Okay.
That day. So that's how I realized he had something to do with it, and I called the FBI immediately.
Okay, so you were aware of it happening, but not to the extent that it being a terrorist attack.
Well, when the bombs happened, I was watching the TV, and the TV was still is a transformer get explode in the basement. During that time, Mahmoud come to the office, and he was looked so scared, and he started to pray. Not in the prayer room. I have a little room for prayer. He prayed in the office because he was so nervous. I asked him what happened. He said accident. I asked him if anybody got hurt. He said yeah. So I got scared. I told my limousine accident because they have a lot of liability.
Of course,
so I said to him, so he said, but your car is safe. I said, what do you mean accident? He said, I cannot tell you. And he told me cancel my job for tomorrow. That time I put it together immediately, and I see the prayer. We have 5 prayer a day, but the prayer was only 2 rakah, and 2 rakah, 2 head in the floor. That means looking for mercy from God or something like that. And when he said accident, I realized. So the minute he left my office, I called FBI immediately, and I said, I think it's not transformer. I think it's a bomb.
Okay.
I think I know who did it.
Wow. So then, at that point on, you served as a witness in the trial against him.
That's
correct.
changed my life completely.
Yeah, I can imagine. And so then you didn't see him at all any point after the attack until he was in court. Is that correct?
No,
or did
no,
you
no.
see him?
I didn't see him at all.
That was it,
Because he took off, and he left from here to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow.
And I promised the government to find him because I was very mad because he knew my children at that time was have a school trip.
Oh my gosh.
My daughter was 9 years old and my other daughter was 8 years old.
Wow.
And when he said, why World Trade Center? I tell him because the biggest place they can see Manhattan. I see the hesitation on him very much. And I thought his head is just messed up with the blind cheek and death mentality.
Crazy.
But I didn't realize I was going to do such thing like that.
Yeah. So as a result of you being a witness, you entered into witness protection under the FBI.
Well, the FBI told me everything gonna be okay. Just
Yeah.
let us where he is. So through his brother, I find out he left Saudi, went to Sudan, and he left Sudan and went to Egypt. And went to Egypt. The government in Egypt immediately get him in custody,
Yeah.
and his wife passport and that. So that time, his brother called me, told me my brother got caught in Egypt, and Egypt gotta roast him like shish kebab and do that.
Yeah.
Please call the FBI,
Yeah.
let him know we need somebody to know, because over here we will treat different than Egypt. And I called the FBI and told him, but unfortunately they didn't believe me.
Yeah.
And when they didn't believe me and accused me for being lying to them, I got mad and I said, no, it's truth. Then
Yeah.
Egypt, after that, they come with the truth because they denied in the beginning of him because they want information from him
Yeah.
before they surrender him to the United States. At that time, the media and the TV and America said, we're not going to give you no AIDS no more unless you give us Abu Halima. Egypt tried to make a deal, said give us the blind cheek because he's wanted. America refused, said no, the blind cheek also going to be involved here.
Wow.
And that's how it happened.
It's incredible. So then you were sent out of New York City for your protection.
Well,
under
when
the
they
FBI.
tell me I have to testify, and they
Yeah.
tell me if I don't testify, he might get away, and I didn't want him to get away with such thing like that.
Right.
So I testify, and the price I have to leave my family, my child, my office, and I have to go to the witness protection, and
Wow.
I went to 18 states before I come here.
18 states before coming to Kansas City.
Yes.
Where you are now.
Yes, and I get many name, Italian name, Frank name, and Anthony Valenti, because I speak Italian good. But when I come to Kansas City, they give me Edgar Sanchez, and I don't speak any Mexican.
Right.
So I was wonder why Edgar Sanchez,
Uh-huh.
but they told me that's the name, and Marshal Service Witness Protection is volunteer. If you want to live, you have to pick whatever they told you, and that was
Wow.
disappointed to
Yeah.
me for one.
That's that's amazing. So then after you came to Kansas City, some years after you came here, you converted from Islam to Christianity. Why was that?
Well, after I come here in Kansas City, I want to be belong to the community so bad because I rotate so many states and I want to open a business. So I start open up business as seen on TV store, and I get connected with some radio station. And I know I gotta be killed, so every Thanksgiving I buy 100 or 1,000 turkey and give it to people who need it because I know my day is numbered. People
Yeah.
after me no matter what. So I was doing that till I meet the Lord, and basically after I did that, I got the September 11 happened, and when September 11 happened, immediately the mall closed all my store and told me not to come anymore because my story come to Kansas City Star and the media and everything. I testify against the terrorists. So Kansas City chief gets scared. They tell me, we don't want you to come anymore. We're going to revoke your season ticket because we're afraid of
Or the Chiefs,
Yeah.
the stadium.
Kansas,
Yeah.
because I was season holder in Kansas City chief, and I was
Okay.
have character for myself to be the helmet man, paint my head like helmet and then drum and stuff like that too.
So back then you were kind of known as the helmet man. So you paint your head like red and then with,
Like
the white stripes as if you're wearing a helmet.
And that, and I
Right.
put the name of my store in the back of my
Yeah.
head as seen on TV store.
Oh wow.
And I have a drum and I wear the matter of fact, Donnie Edward, the player, give me the own pants of the chief, and I was wearing the same.
He gave you
uniform.
the pants. You
The
said?
pants he wear
Yeah.
with the pouch and
Oh wow.
and I wear his pants and I
Yeah.
wear red shoes, and I have a custom made shirt for me. The chief with my name on it and my business as seen
Wow.
on TV store.
Yeah.
And I did that back and forth. Every game I go there and I just drum and the people shout after me. Said Kansas City Chief.
Right. Okay, so then your pass was revoked from the Chiefs, and what was the reason they gave you for taking away your season pass?
They get scared after the situation come to the media. Everybody got to know who I am,
Got it.
And they get scared of anything bad happens. So they
Okay.
tell me, we need to take your season ticket because of that.
Wow. Okay. And now you said that it's back in place. You're like, so if you wanted to, you could apply for a season pass. They would allow you now.
Oh yeah.
It's
They,
been 20
they
years.
send me
Yeah.
invitation now, but I
Yeah.
decide no because I get safe and I get to know Christ at that time.
Yeah.
I end up selling hot dog in the street when they close all my Asino TV store.
Okay.
And selling hot dog, one guy told me at the Borough Hall they have Christian convention and you
Okay.
can make a lot of money. And I went there, and when I see a lot of people said, we want to pray for you, I need a prayer for
They're
my
all Christians.
situation.
They wanted to pray for you.
They're all Christian. And I said, okay, but I said, I'm a Muslim. They said, it's okay, we'll pray for you anyway.
Yeah.
But when they pray for me and I felt the touch and I come to be Christian.
Wow. Okay. So as everyone is aware, there's a situation happening in Gaza where the IDF is fighting against Hamas, and there's death, a lot of death over there, and it's basically about the situation about who owns that land. Is it Palestine or Israel? So I want to ask you, whose land do you think it is, and why?
Palestine has always been Palestine. Before the Bible was Palestine exists. So is the Canaan, so is the Jewish, was all exist together everywhere, not just in Israel. In Egypt was Israeli Jewish was in Egypt before Moses.
Yeah.
And when Moses get the call to tell him go to Israel from the Lord, went there and they was mad with him, why you bring us here to suffer and that. So the Israeli wasn't happy with anything Moses even then. Moses cried to the Lord and tell him, how could I deal with them?
Yeah.
So but because the promise in the Bible, and I don't believe the promise in the Bible to take it that way. I don't believe
And
Zionists.
the promise being, what is that? What do you mean the
To
promise
have
in the
an
Bible?
Israeli to be there, because when Jacob changed his name to be Israel and come to Israelites, which is his children. So for that they thought we're supposed to have a nation, but they would have a mountain where the Israeli family live and another amount where so and so live.
Yeah.
But the children of Abraham, Ishmael, and Isaac, both children of Abraham, and when Sarah threw Hagar out in the middle of nowhere, God sent Gabriel to open up
And to help her out in the desert.
and well in the desert for
Yeah.
the baby to live. And when Abraham cried to the Lord told him, I will bless both your children for the amount of the star in the sky and the amount of the sand and that.
Right.
So I thought that's what we're supposed to be, cousin.
So, okay, so what you're saying, it sounds like, is that you think that there could be a coexistence? Is that
It
what
could
you're thinking?
be. Could be. Israel was live all over the Arab world before 1948.
Right.
There was living peace in Egypt. There was living
Yeah.
peace in Morocco, in Iraq, in every Arab country. With Jew and Egyptian and Arab and live together with no problem. But
Yeah.
when Israel have a nation now, and the nation come not in peaceful way, come by invading Palestine, so all the Arab country, Israel call all the Jews to go there because they have a place to stay. So that's why they left the Arab. All the Arab country was upset of what happened to the Palestinian.
So, do you believe that there is a possibility for a two-state solution?
I believe that's the best way, and that's the only way. Will never end unless they make solution.
Okay.
And the solution to live together among each other, and the blessing will be to both. The blessing, the Muslim will go visit the big mosque there, the Aqsa Mosque, and Christian go visit Jesus' place and Jesus' birth, and everybody will be happy and make money.
Got it. Okay. So you were offered interviews by 60 Minutes, CBS, and other big news outlets.
Yes.
But you told them all no, but you're here with me today.
Yeah.
So why did you tell them no, but you told me yes to be here?
Well, I'm going to be 70 years old. I have no fear no more. When 60 Minutes approached me, that was over 15 years ago, and I was just get safe, and I get nervous if it's happened. I might cause any dangers to the people around me because I would just get safe, and I don't want anything happen to
Of course.
the place. People follow me and come to the place of worship and cause anything.
Right.
So that's why I refuse.
Okay. But now you feel like you're able to speak publicly without any danger?
Now I feel it's really, we should get this to the light and let people know, because sometimes the media show all Arab as a bad. No, they have a terrorist, could be terrorists in any nationality, and any kind of people could have the bad and the good. Israel is not all angel. The Mossad is not all angel.
Yeah.
The Zionist is not all angel, because they go to your house and tell you, I want your house and I get a ticket no matter what. I just hope Israel and Palestine can live together
Yeah,
with
peace.
dignity and pride, and give the Palestinian the right to feel as a human, treat
Okay.
them as a human.
My last question for you is, after you're gone, what do you hope your legacy is?
My legacy, people to know we just human like anybody else. No different between being born in Middle East or born in the United States, because we don't have no choice where to born or where to live. We just born there. The hope is everybody will feel like have a life.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the Palestinian now, nobody have a hope for children to grow up and see college and see that because of what's going on all the time.
Yeah.
If this end and come to be peace, I think will be peace to all of them.
Okay.
Israel claiming, some Arabs said we don't want Israel to be exist completely. Well, a lot of Israel don't want any Arab to be exist too. So it's both way. If come to nasty, it's both way.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on you.
So to be clear, you want your legacy to be somebody who you're just a normal
for
human being. You're
peace.
just a normal person, and you wanted to have peace in the Middle East. That's what you want your legacy
That's
to
my
be.
hope and my prayer
Yeah.
to peace. I mean, I grow up see war,
Yeah.
and the war never end, and I'm now 69 years old. So my hope to see peace. I think we can live together.
Okay.
We can live together in peace. I don't see why not.
All right. Well, Wahed, thanks for coming here. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank
and
you.
thank you for watching.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to come and talk.
Of course. Thank you.